BTMreview.com here with another episode of our The Walking Dead podcast, talking about the latest filler episode, Consumed.
Filler episode.
It is. It's pretty much in line. I'm not going to say the last episode was a filler episode necessarily, but this one definitely was, and I just think that it's another episode that they could have interwoven into another episode. You know, it didn't need its own 48 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, half the Carol backstory could have been interwoven to episodes, like, back in other seasons.
Yeah, we really didn't need to see all the Carol flashbacks. We kind of figured what happened. And we need to see that.
And how she felt about it. A lot of what they explained to us could have already been either deduced or was kind of already explained to us.
Well, like you're saying, lowest common denominator, they need to paint a picture for them, right, Pat?
I guess. Get the fucking crayons out, people. If you haven't gotten it by now, you're gonna get it by the time we're done with this bullshit.
and pardon me for being so rushed here. Yeah, speaking of Pat, that is Pat, and that's River, and I'm Aaron. But yeah, I don't know. It's like the last episode, it was kind of a speedier one because it didn't have a whole lot of substance, and I think this is going to be another one of those because nothing happened that we didn't think was going to happen. It was just sort of that in the middle. This is what Carol and Daryl were doing, and they got separated, and he ran into Everybody Loves Chris Rock, and I mean, what really happened in this episode?
Basically, all you were waiting for is how did Carol get into the hospital? That's all we're waiting for. And we've already pretty much deduced who Daryl found after the episode with Beth. It was pretty much an assurance that, that is who Daryl wound up going back with. All we really needed to kind of find out is the circumstances and the fact that Daryl and Carol wandered around. I mean, it wasn't too terribly eventful. They fell off a bridge in a truck, which apparently physics doesn't exist in The Walking Dead because that
was nuts, man. That was nuts.
Yeah, did that flip over and do like a complete like a complete gainer, I guess that would be, or did it just kind of just level out there?
I thought it fell flat. I didn't think it. I wasn't under the impression that it actually like rolled.
I know it fell flat, but
so like the episode, but
yeah. We need drops if you're gonna do jokes like that. Shit,
yeah.
We need a soundboard.
It was funny the total Daryl brain fart though, where he jumps in the back and then all the walkers come out of nowhere and they get stuck in the back of the truck.
I didn't understand what about that was a good idea. Hey, let's just totally rush and both of us get in the back of this tilting vehicle.
It was a good idea because the writers said so. God.
Yeah, it's like we don't live in the zombie apocalypse. That was a big enough and open enough area. They should have been able to like give a look around and be like, all right, there's nobody coming.
They could have just walked right by him. All the walkers. Why can't you just walk right by him? They're not running at you.
Or run right fucking by them. Shit.
Exactly. They're not going to jump you.
Every time is everybody's first time when they kill zombies in this fucking show. No matter how many seasons they've been around, like, oh shit.
I don't know. I just think they spent way too much damn time in that car. It was just setting up as a plot device. I mean, they got the information they needed from that car. Yeah, this is the car. Ha ha ha. It's the people that took Beth or whatever. I don't know. It was dumb. And like, where do they all come from? Like, did they not see all those zombies? That was a lot of friggin' zombies coming out of both directions.
And wouldn't they go looking for weapons first before they decided to hike the couple miles it was to get to the freeway where that van was? Because it was after their weapons were taken.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, what do we have to use in here? Nothing. They had a hospital bed. They had nothing to use.
You could have found a baseball bat or a boat oar or fucking anything on the way there. It's frickin' Atlanta. Not every single, every weapon or even, blunt object that you could use as a weapon is missing. That's just
why can't you just mull them over with the hospital bed and just like run with that thing?
Stupid ass show.
Speaking of weapons, so I forget, were they actually they weren't in the hospital when they ran to Everybody Loves Chris. They were in whatever that building was that Carol knew from her exile from before, right?
A battered women's clinic, or probably what would be like a social work center.
Mm-hmm. So they run into Everybody Loves Chris. I don't remember his name. I can't be bothered to remember it. And then, yeah, they totally get just owned by him. And Carol tries to shoot him. She has a pretty good shot, and Daryl stops her. I mean, so we keep going back and forth to the morality here. Like, so 1 second it's okay to do something like that. If this was a different episode, it would have been totally cool to shoot the guy that just stole all your weapons and unleash zombies and try to kill you. I mean, I slow you down, I get it, but they could have killed him.
How about a straight up amateur move for Carol having that freaking giant machine gun leave her hand when she's slipping through the door? I mean, I understand you might not be expecting people, but they were coming back into the hallway that's full of fucking zombies. Like, wouldn't you be somewhat prepared? Like, oh yeah, there's tents full of zombies in this little hallway here, or this little walkway thing.
Could have popped her head out, just take a look.
Jeez, yeah, right. Oh shit, there's a guy here. He wasn't here before. What should we do? Oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna hand my fucking gun out the door.
Well, they eventually catch up to him, and then Daryl kind of has a different mentality. He totally manhandles him. I kind of like that when he shoved him up against the dresser and it falls on him. He's not quite as injured as I think he would be because that thing looked pretty heavy, and I'm pretty sure a building like that would have quality heavy furniture, not like Walmart,
It's
IKEA.
It's solid oak or maybe even mahogany.
I think that would have broke every bone in his body. Not just he was walking with a little bit of a limp.
Did you guys see the brand of cigarettes that he was smoking?
I can't remember. What was it? They weren't Lucky's, were they?
No, they were a brand from the X-Files, I guess. I saw they were paying homage to the
really?
X-Files, yeah.
It's pretty sad when that's what we're talking about in the episode. The brand of cigarettes he was smoking. There's literally nothing else to talk about. Yeah. I don't know what else to talk about.
It's exactly what you said it is to beginning. And this is, again, I think this is indicative of that the show is not designed for week-to-week viewing. It's designed for binge watching. And is that where we've gone to with the state of how television works anymore? I guess. Sure. I don't know. But if that's the case, then make the show that way. Kind of like how House of Cards is, or kind of like how any other show that we've named off 100 of them just in these freaking, 7 episodes now? Or 6 episodes that, are more conducive to that type of viewing. It's not week to week, If there's another third, if this next episode coming up, and there's only 2 episodes left in the season?
Yes.
Okay, so you figure there'll be some mild to slight action in the second to last episode, but the majority of what's actually going to happen is going to take place in the last episode, right? Mm-hmm, so it's just even more indicative that this is meant for binge watching. As sit down, watch 10 episodes at a time, and there's your entertainment. I don't know. It's missing its mark even more so, especially when it seems that we thought it might have learned from a few mistakes.
But you think that this show, as big as it is, as much money as it's generating, you think they can afford that? It's not that they can't get talented people. They're purposely doing this. I mean, they could write it better than this. This episode and the last episode, I don't understand it. It was the same exact situation where we have 48 minutes on the clock and we get about 5 minutes of real progression. That's all we needed. We could have mixed these 2 episodes together or whatever. I mean, the last episode, what was it? Only thing we learned was that Eugene was a fraud, and we learned a little bit of Eugene's backstory. You could have summed that up in about 5 minutes. And the same thing here. We just kind of needed to know, how Carol got kidnapped, which was really dumb. We found it because she ran out into the street like a stupid ass dog and got hit by a car. It was really weird. I mean, I don't know.
It's almost like, I mean, it's different from when a book, I guess, becomes either a TV show or a movie, because it kind of it realizes its own confines. Take Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is a lush, huge history, backstories out the wazoo. It has its own universe for fuck's sake. It's basically, I mean, George R. Martin basically ripped off Tolkien, and as nobody's really said as much, but it doesn't take 2 frickin' episodes explaining one little thing about a character just to move it forward 5 fucking minutes. It's absolutely maddening at some points.
I don't know about you guys, but I enjoyed watching Carol stare at smoke for 20 minutes this episode.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. But the thing is though, I've not looked at the reactions this episode. I stay away from that because I watch it a little bit later. But people are eating. They're going to eat it up though, because everybody got what they want. They got Daryl and Carol kind of talking about their feelings. And I don't know. And that's probably enough for the broad audience.
But, I mean, it almost seems like at the beginning of this show, there was this sort of element of danger when it comes to who could die at any moment. But now, because they've tried to make us care about so many of these characters, like, you don't know who's going to die, even if you know what's going on in the comic books, or you know which characters are still dead or still alive at this point, or are going to be dead or alive at the end of it. I don't know. I don't understand. I mean, I'm not trying to bitch about something just for the sake of bitching about something. I honestly don't understand some of the decisions that are made.
And you know how predictable it's going to be that they're going to go and pick up Beth. Noah's probably going to save Beth somehow, and then they're going to fall in love, all that crap, and then Noah dies by the end of the season. It's going to be something stupid like that.
Who's Noah, the black guy?
Yeah.
Oh, man, Herschel probably would have rolled over in his grave. You're with the color? You're with the color?
See, don't let Mac... Well, I don't know. He already accepted Maggie coming home with Glenn.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
but yet again, Maggie doesn't give a shit about her sister.
No.
I'm going to keep repeating this until, like, one day Maggie's gonna be like, "Oh shit, I have a sister. Where is she?"
I just you made a good point. This show, money has clearly spoken, and the many different showrunners that have changed and been in and out the door, and the writers has clearly had an impact. Because the first season, it felt like anything could have happened. I mean, remember when Shane died in the first season, or was that second season? I'm sorry,
second.
The first couple seasons. That was yeah. I'm sorry, everybody. That was actually shocking to me because they played him up like such a heavy character in the first two seasons, and you know what? Even when Merle died in season 3, I didn't see that coming because I was totally stupid how they killed him off. It was really ridiculous. I don't understand why they kill off certain characters, but now it is very predictable. They've yet to kill. How long has it been since they've killed off a real main character?
2 seasons.
Herschel,
yeah.
So
I guess that wasn't that long ago, but still, we should be killing him off. This show can't go that much longer.
Effectively a season because he died. He died mid-season finale of the last season.
Yeah.
So I mean that's almost a year and a half ago.
But we've got too many main characters from season 1 and 2 floating around. Way too many.
Well, and again, you'd figure with any other show, and I don't know the exact timeline of who's still alive in the comic books, but I'm pretty sure there's at least a few characters who are dead.
Mm-hmm. They're just going to keep picking up new characters too.
They're afraid. I think they're afraid to kill. They're not ballsy like when it started out. I'm not too sure they had the ambition and the foresight that it was going to be this big. I mean, everybody wants something to be big.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a niche market to begin with, being that it's a bunch of horror dorks that you're making this for. But when you start making a soap opera out of it, then what do you expect?
It's certainly changed because I remember when this show first came out, it was the horror guys. It was your Rivermans and stuff. These people that were excited about it. These people that had adorned like zombie movies growing up, and they were sort of the niche thing, like you said, and they weren't mainstream. And so when this show came out, people like River, you were excited, and we were excited. And it's just totally somewhere. I don't know at what point it really changed and turned over. Maybe like in season 2 to 3. It just.
I think it's 2. I think it's exactly 2 to 3. I think that's when it became this cultural phenomenon that has become.
And it's just shifted. It's absolutely shifted. And I think they're going to cater to whatever audience is prominent. And it's the mainstream, and that happens to be a bunch of women. I mean, if this was a super group, it would be a boy band. I mean, it's just like
and the thing of it is I'd be fine for it even if it was popular, but just make the writing better. Like again, this is 2 filler episodes in a row. This one in particular it sticks out like a sore thumb. Like we don't got much else really. They kind of that week in the writer's room, that whole handful of darts that they threw at the wall, only a few things stuck, and then they found a few other darts that were stuck to the wall from 2 seasons ago. It just bugs me.
And now they're probably going to go back to the other characters, Seamus and all that, next episode.
I knew we were going to pay the price.
we got to get them, but they got to get them back to the church, and then they got to get everybody at the church out there. There it is, right there. There's our predictions, folks.
We already predicted this like after the first episode, didn't we?
Yeah, we might as well skip that as a section because River, you gave your prediction. I mean, it's going to be pointless. Yeah, they're going to get back to the church. They're all going to go back to try and save Carol and kick ass, and it's going to have made the last 4 episodes totally pointless.
Yep.
I mean, absolutely pointless. And I knew we were going to pay the price for having three good episodes.
Too good.
And Abraham will. I think he'll kind of start to protest because they're going to go in a different direction, but they'll just realize what he did to Eugene. He'll just realize what he did to Eugene, and like everybody's still on the outs with him, so they'll be like, "Nah, Abraham, chill."
Chill, bro.
Yeah, it's calm. Yeah. Cool your jets there, Abraham. And there'll be a serious look exchange between him and Rick, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I'm missing Rick, man, because I need somebody that actually.
Rick. I mean, he's the best character. He still stands as the best.
He's the one who has substance now. I mean,
I've always liked Rick the best. I mean, there was times when you hated Rick River.
No, I agree. But this season, I like him.
He's always been the most fascinating character. So why not? Let's stick to him, like the first season and the second season. Let's not take away from him too much. And it kills me because they're cash cow. Norman Reedus, we've said this a million times. He'll go. We'll go a couple of weeks without seeing him, and then when he gets his own episode, they're total bullshit. I was like, why is this guy the fan favorite? I'm really. He was kind of cool in the first couple seasons, and it's just like now it's like.
Yeah, and everybody the whole crossbow thing and all that crap, but that wouldn't be conducive to a zombie apocalypse. But I digress. Just the episodes that feature him, again, he's supposed to be this fan favorite character, and he's supposed to be this badass tracker. But he spends whole episodes espousing wisdom to the women that are on the show, which is just bizarre.
And picking up, what was that book he picked up about getting beat or something, or
Carol?
Father?
Yeah, it was how to therapy for people, for adults who were abused as a child or some crap like that. I didn't even realize that. There's the reason that he's such the heartthrob, because again, he spent 2 episodes basically just giving women advice.
He's the teddy bear. He's soft on the inside,
and dirty on the outside.
Look at it. Is that what? Come on. Until it just came out of my mouth.
I don't know, man. I can tell you, I can give you my predictions for next week right now. The predictions for next week is that we're going to waste our time yet again. We're probably going to have a very, very short podcast where we're talking about the lack of substance on the show, and we're just picking apart what's wrong with the show, because we didn't talk about so much this episode as we spent time talking about everything that's been wrong with this episode as a whole.
Okay, well, what really happened? We found out
nothing.
That Daryl and Carol wandered around Atlanta. They kind of figured out where Beth was. They didn't figure out where Beth was until Chris Rock showed him.
Yeah.
And he stole their weapons, and then they fell off a bridge, and then Carol got hit by a car.
Do you know when you go see a movie or you're anticipating seeing a big blockbuster, and then when you go see that movie, you kind of get the harsh reality and you learn that, wow, they kind of showed me all the cool stuffs in the trailer. Oh, yeah. That's exactly what this episode was. The last couple, next time on The Walking Dead, those little 30-second clips, they showed us everything that we need to know that was in these episodes.
Yeah, we don't even need to watch them now. We can just do podcasts afterwards.
It was like, okay.
Especially this new one, it just looked like a whole bunch of serious looks between people inside of the hospital. So who knows if we're even going to see the other group, or if they'll save it till after the mid-season finale. Because you heard Rick talking in the voiceover, but I didn't actually see any of those characters.
Well, I hope to God there's two more episodes left. Hope to God they really get off their butt. They all get together really quick, and they all head towards that hospital, because really, as far as timeline, I think the newest event was Norman Reedus coming through the shrubbery with Chris Rock. Hopefully from there, it's not going to take too much time. He's going to be like, hey, I know where Beth and Carol are, and they just hop to it. I mean, I know we saw some clips of Carl, like, I'm tired of staying in one place at one time. Hopefully there's not too much of that shit, and they just let him go or let him stay, whatever, and just leave it.
Which was funny, because Everybody Loves Chris was tracking Daryl, and he's supposed to be the tracker. Wouldn't you think he'd pick up on that? But
Was he? He said he wasn't following him.
Yeah, he was following the whole time.
He was following him the whole time. They showed 2 different shots of him following him.
Yeah.
God, I missed that. I'm sorry. I must have zoned out. I didn't
it's
even
fine.
see that.
It's fine that you missed the completely blatantly obvious lack of story continuity when it comes to the characters' traits. Fuck. The thing of it is the more we talk about this, the more this stuff starts to irritate the shit out of me.
Go ahead.
I understand for the sake of the nerds, but it's just for the sake of the logical thinking human being who's like, wait a minute, no, that shouldn't work that way. But whatever, I don't give a fuck anymore, I guess.
Before you rip apart the room like a rabid monkey, give us your rating. You deserve it. Go first, Pat.
That's a straight up 4. I mean, if I could actually rank it as 0, because it serves no purpose. We could have guessed that entire storyline, and it was picked up scrap from another bullshit from, it was, hey, there's the tank that Rick hid out in that Glenn helped him get out of. That was pretty much the only interesting thing for me. Mm-hmm. So
a 4.
Yeah, the zombie. Fuck it, give it a 1. This is just dumb.
A 1. I think that's an all-time low. River, what do you think?
Oh man,
try not to be influenced by his 1.
No, I'm not.
Give us okay.
And I'm actually going to grade it a little lower myself than last week. Prior.
Oh, a little lower than 1.
I'm going to give it a 3 because it didn't have any redeeming qualities to it. It was a bore fest, sleazy Floyd, as I would like to call it. And there's nothing that drew me in. I mean, yeah, getting hit by the car, wow, big fucking deal. We know what happened to her now. So.
Again, that's what we've waited around for 80 fucking minutes to find out that Carol got hit by a car.
Yeah, it was really dumb. I was kind of riding the line between a 3 and a 4. I guess just to be different, I'll give it a 4. But I don't know. I kind of want to give it a 3 just because it was pointless. You're right. It deserves a 0 or a 1 because it didn't need to be there at all. But the only thing that's making me give it a couple of points is it wasn't quite as bad as the getting drunk episode with Daryl.
We always refer back to that. That's so funny.
That to me, that is probably the lowest point, and this was a smidge above that because there was a little bit more going on there. That was the epitome of pointless.
Yes.
So
I will say this one actually did more to actually propel the story than that episode, because that episode of them hanging out in that house getting drunk, I don't think that compelled anything other than. I think there was something minor, like when the house burnt down, somebody saw something or other. I can't remember.
And just Beth does not need to control and have the dialogue because her dialogue was so horrible in that episode. I'll never forget it. It's just burned in my mind.
Hey, just think our Super Bowl Sunday this year, we're going to get the same damn episode.
Oh, that's right. It was Super Bowl Sunday.
Yep. So we're going to need another Beth episode or somebody related to that. One giant episode of garbage.
God damn it all.
Who knows? But
wait a minute. If there's only 2 episodes left, when are they bringing it back?
February 8th.
Yeah, it
oh,
always
for
comes
Christ's
back.
sakes, they're ugh.
Okay, so we got a 1, we got a 3. Screw it. I'm going to go ahead and settle with a 3. This is the worst episode of the season, in my opinion, because it's pointless.
You don't seem as angry as you did last week, though.
Well, it's not because the thing is, it's not
that's
that
because he's given in.
It's not that it's not that it was vomit inducing. It's not that I had like roll my eyes a whole bunch of moments in this episode. It was just totally pointless. I didn't understand. It was like I was watching a giant, I don't know, trailer, commercial, advertisement. I don't know what I was doing. It was pointless. I mean, I was just kind of arbitrarily watching it. I mean, I just was really, I was really emotionless. Ultimately, I don't really have an opinion.
Background noise at some point.
Yeah, it's just that kind of thing. It wasn't. Yeah, I mean, it almost might have been better had it been just absolutely ridiculously stupid. I mean, I'd rather be really pissed off, talk about how dumb and stupid. Yeah, but I just really am in a place of just not caring.
No, I'm the same way.
Whatever. So
I love how we go from excitement to complete ambivalence to just pure hatred and rage.
They did it to us, man.
1, 3, and 3. That makes a 7. That's a 7 out of 30. I believe that's a failing grade. That's a horrible score. That's not good.
We're not getting into Dartmouth, Walking Dead.
Absolutely not. But anyway, everybody out there, let us know what you thought about this snoozer. If you think we're stupid, if you think...
If you disagree with us, come fucking on. You're just wrong.
Yeah,
This one.
but if you do, let us know so we can argue with you further next week because we'd love to. Because I mean, we're not like some elitist group or anything. I don't think you'd have to be elitist to see through this garbage. But let us know. YouTube channel BTM Review, Facebook BTM Review, and the website btmreview.com. And also, feel free to hit us up on there contact-wise if you want to contribute to any of this nonsense. Believe me, I think River is looking for a replacement, for God's sakes. You know, if anybody, send in your resumes.
Yeah.
He's only watching the show because we need a third person.
Yes. Somebody has to record.
Well, they're just killing time for before the Evil Dead. I am at this point, you know.
Or we could just switch over to the American Horror Story podcast, and that'd be way more interesting.
See, I haven't seen this season. I really want to check it out. I hear it's pretty good.
The season's actually really good.
Yeah, is
I'm
it?
digging it. Yeah, I only got like 5 episodes in the last one. I was a turd, but this one's.
Oh, here we are again. We're pitching other series. Walking Dead, get off your ass. Which everybody, it's been fun. It's been real. We'll see you guys all next week. I'm Aaron.
River.
Bad.
And see you guys later.
Good night, Canada.